Well, joining me now is Andrew Barker from the Centre for Economic Development of Australia. Andrew, thanks for your time. I know you've got a report out today which says the government shouldn't be funding these sorts of projects. Instead, they should be enabling them. Just explain what you mean here.
Thanks, Ed. So what we found is that Australia does have really big opportunities in clean energy, including in clean energy exports. And the government is supporting those projects through funding. But when we speak to the project proponents, they're having trouble getting these projects off the ground because they're running into barriers through things like cumbersome planning and permitting requirements, lack of skills, and a lack of coordination, including around community consultation. So what we argue is that first the government should look at enabling and guiding developments through reducing those barriers, and enable then the private investment to come on board in response to those commercial opportunities.
So is this Future Made in Australia strategy a little bit misguided? Is it in a way a kind of return to that old protectionism?
So we haven't seen all the details of the Future Made in Australia strategy yet. I mean, the Treasurer has clearly said it's about enabling private investment, which is more positive. And certainly the consolidation of a lot of different schemes is a good thing. We note in our report that there have been over 30 federal and more than 50 state and territory programs supporting hydrogen development. And so it's very hard to see that the money is going to the best places. So having an umbrella can help. And as I say, the Treasurer said it's about incentivising private investment, but a lot of the announcements we've seen, as you were just mentioning, have been around subsidies or loans. And so when the government chooses to do that, it's really important that it has clear objectives, deep analysis, and it's transparent about that so that taxpayers are getting the best value for their money, and also evaluation and a willingness to stop funding non-successful ventures.
Yeah, you mentioned those loans because at the end of the day, these are big investments the government's hoping to make a return on in the future. But is there any better ways out there to encourage companies to build green energy projects in Australia?
So what we found is there are real opportunities for government to be involved in clean energy precincts, and these are not just a single company venture, but rather bringing together businesses, research institutions, educational providers in one location. And that's a complex and difficult thing to do, and the government can have an important coordination role, but it also enables big opportunities from shared use of infrastructure, from skill development, from innovation, and from the development of green exports. So government can help through coordinating and also removing some of these barriers to development that we outlined through the planning and permitting processes.
And at the same time, we've seen other companies critical to our supply chain, such as plastics manufacturer Qenos, fall into administration. Look, I know it's not part of the green energy mix, but is it worth helping businesses like this continue operating as part of Australia's sort of sovereign capability?
Look, as you say, we haven't analysed that case in particular in our research. What I would say is that the failure of one company is not necessarily a failure of policy. One of the problems with industry support in the past has been continuing to prop up ventures or industries where we cannot compete internationally. So I wouldn't necessarily say that's a policy failure, but obviously there are real implications for the workers and the communities affected. And so government needs to help the workers and the communities there.
And at the same time today, Treasurer Jim Chalmers announced plans to streamline the Foreign Investment Review Board decision-making process, speed it up, in other words. Is this a good idea? Obviously, we're trying to attract global investors from overseas.
So foreign direct investment brings really big benefits to Australia through providing the capital that we need for these clean energy opportunities, for example, bringing new knowledge and skills and spillovers to the local economy from that. And also foreign direct investment, unlike portfolio investment, doesn't just leave the country when things turn bad. They're here for the long run. So it's really something positive. So moving in the direction of enabling foreign direct investment, making it easier for trusted partners is certainly a step in the right direction. We'll have to see with the implementation how it actually works out in practice.
CEDA Senior Economist Andrew Barker, thanks for joining us on the program this afternoon.
Thanks, Ed.